Hey guys, it's Faye, and I'm here with the guide to make your travels on Planet Mira just a little bit easier. So, the new stat in Xenoblade Chronicles X. Well, potential. So a lot of talk has been had about this particular stat. Is it overpowered? Is it not? And most often, what does it even do? And I would like to cover some of that today. So I know a lot of people may not have played the original Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii or the new 3DS, but in that game there was a stat called Agility, and it was kind of a monster stat. It did accuracy, and it also pertained to evasion, and while that doesn't sound like too much, it was super helpful. And it was so good that the stat was nuked for Xenoblade Chronicles X and turned into evasion and accuracy. So, potential in Xenoblade Chronicles X may have fallen into the same pit as agility, but in an entirely different way. So here's what potential does at its core. The most basic aspect of it is that it increases the damage you deal and the healing you do with your TP arts, aka your tension point arts, which are something some classes use a lot of, something maybe some classes don't use a lot of, but even those classes probably have one or two TP arts on their bar. Potential also takes the place of melee/range power for TP art damage calculations. What that means is that those art multipliers use your potential instead of those other things and can eventually scale to do massive damage with TP arts. And like I mentioned before, not every class has a ton of TP skills on their bar, but I am playing as the Galactic Knight, and they're pretty beneficial because I can heal. I use a TP art to help my melee damage out. It's pretty good. Also keep in mind that non-enforcer branch classes, like the Commando branch, also have TP damage arts. So that all sounds pretty standard. Why should I care if I'm not an enforcer? Well, here's where it gets super interesting. Potential increases the effect of soul voices, and I believe how often they trigger, which matters a lot in this game because soul voices are super beneficial. So in my personal opinion, this is where potential steps over the line from a solid stat to a busted one, and that's a great thing. The short of it is, I think it's at the least worth investing as a secondary stat, even if you're not TP art heavy. Later on, you can also trigger a soul voice that extends overdrive and another that increases tension points to keep overdrive going, in combination with a certain art. So, hearing all this, you might want more potential. A lot of people end up with 100 to 200 potential, but you can reach as much as 1,000 potential in the endgame, and I don't think there's a cap, but if there is, feel free to correct me. So, with that being said, you might be wondering, how can I get more potential on my gear? And some people might not even be aware that at the AM terminal in Armory Alley in New LA, that you can upgrade intrinsic stats on your gear, and that's called battle trait upgrading. So the main component to upgrading potential during the early to mid-game potential is a material called Fleecy Fur. You can farm Fleecy Fur from Suids, the boar-looking mobs, in Primordia. The best spot to farm them is probably directly northwest of NLA, since they're pretty low level there. The fast travel point is Westgate Plain, the first one you get in the game, I think. You just turn left and follow the path of Suids around a rocky wall that's there. When you get to the last Suid, you'll probably know you won't see anymore, just fast travel back to Westgate Plain and repeat. You can also engineer potential augments, which function as gems if you've played the first game. These also require Fleecy Fur to make, in addition to ores that are found by harvesting them from mining probes. So the two you're going to worry about for now are Arc Sand ore for level 1 augments, and I don't know if this unlocks automatically or not, but I have potential 5 augments, and those take Lion Bone Bort. Later on, you're gonna unlock more potential augment levels, and those can be made with higher level mining probe materials. And they also take higher level enemy drops than Fleecy Fur, obviously. And each augment craft also costs 100 Marinium, which should be nothing. In terms of manufacturers that have potential up as a trait on their gear, Sakuraba Industries is available from the very beginning of the game. They have potential up, HP, and experience up on their gear. It's pretty good. Candid Incredible, which is unlocked after Chapter 5, also has armor with potential up traits. And from what I've found so far, getting them to level 4 debuff suppressors as one of their secondary traits. So lastly, I want to cover where you can get Arc Sandor and Lion Bone Bort, so you can go ahead and make those augments for potential. Arc Sand or probe sites are located in Primordia and Oblivia. In Primordia, you can find them at sites 115 and 108, and in Oblivia, you can find them at 301, which is right by the entrance. You cannot miss this probe point. From what I've unlocked, Lion Bone Bort is also at 301 in Oblivia, which, once again, pretty hard to miss, so you're going to want to put a decent quality mining probe there, and you'll get a good amount of both Arc Sandor and Lion Bone Bort, so you can make those potential augments. I hope this helps you out in your adventures on the planet Mira. This has been your fellow Blade member Faye, and thanks for watching.